Good morning!
Okay, now at this moment we will talk about reading guide. So what do we mean by reading guide? Yes, Cortel. In your own opinion, what is reading guide? Can you stand?
I think reading guide, panawas ako. Okay, reading guide is that the students are guided about what they read. When may mga questions that they will something that will help us to be guided.
Okay, thanks, Cortel. So for Cortel, a reading guide, it is the students being guided of what they read. So to know what is reading guide, so can you read the definition of reading guide, class?
Reading guides and report
Questions or statements can help in fostering comprehension, help the students navigate reading materials, and guide them in understanding organizational structures of text.
So reading guide is a helpful tool that gives us the tips or the question to think about before or while we are reading a book or an article. So it is really important for us, class, because it gives us the information or it helps us to understand information easily. And now, reading guide also includes the main idea and also the things to consider to make the reading more easier and understandable. So now, why to use reading guide? So first is we have to train your students to assess their understanding while reading. So I want Marinduque to share your insights about this.
Can you read everyone the first bullet of 51?
Train your students to assess their understanding while reading.
So since it is stated in the reading guide, was third, it is the comprehension questions that is in the middle part or in the middle part of the reading passage. We could in that we could train ourselves our critical thinking while of course while nagaligtan, nagakomprehend paligtan by answering those mga provided na mga questions or guide questions.
Okay, thank you, Marinduque. So as future educators, we should train our students to assess their understanding while reading, just like giving or just like asking questions or even predicting what will happen in that text or what will happen in that text. So by that, we can assess if the students really understood what they read and if the students are and also it is the basis of the teacher if the students really can analyze those informations correctly. So that is why, as future educators, we should train our students to assess their understanding while they are reading. Next is help students understand the organization of the text by focusing on the key points. So as a future educators also, we should always consider in understanding the organization, because if the students are given a lengthy text and then they are given a minimal time of their teacher, so by using this or by using focusing on the key points, they can really understand the text even if they doesn't read it at all because of the minimal time. So by that, the students still understand the information, still evaluates the details on that given text. So next is we have the help the students determine their purpose for reading. So what is the purpose of what is the purpose of reading? So why is it important that we read that passage or that text? So we should always determine the purpose of that reading or of that given text. Next is, now we're going to discuss about the steps in reading guide. So first is identify the main ideas in the assigned reading.
100%.
So, Jertz-an. Okay, I want Atad to share your thoughts.
The first step in reading guide is to identify main ideas in the assigned reading. So, murag ka scanning and skimming before reading to identify kung sa main idea, since you're talking about the purpose, kung sa purpose ng reading, might as well mong identify kung sa main idea sa text na yung binabasa.
Okay. should always consider to have scanning and skimming so that you can identify the main ideas of the given text. So I have here example of a text, and then what you're going to do is to get the main idea of that certain text. So can you read, everyone?
Regular physical activity is essential for maintaining good health. It improves
Vascular health, strengthens muscles and bones, boosts mental well-being, and reduces the risk of chronic diseases such as diabetes and obesity. Incorporating at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise repeatedly can lead to long-term health benefits. Additionally, staying active can improve sleep quality and increase energy levels throughout the day. So what is the main idea of that text?
all about moderate exercise.
Moderate exercise or regular physical activity is essential for maintaining good health. So that is our main idea of the text. So next is steps in reading guide. So can you read, everyone?
Create statements or questions to aid the students in the as well as details of material being read.
So I want Teves to share your insights about the second step.
I think after you are to determine the main ideas of the text, so probably you're just make it a question that they go to students to get them makuha ilang punto about the text that they are going through.
Okay, thank you, Teves. So as a teacher, we should create questions to aid students throughout the main ideas as well as the details of the material being read, because that is the time that the teacher could evaluate if the students really learn those informations or those details in the given text. And by that, if the students has a misinformation or if they acquire misinformation, so the teacher could assess if what part that did the students really miss those informations, and then the teacher might correct their understanding of that specific information. So next is introduce the material. So I have here examples of mga HATS questions of katong sa ganinang text. So this is what the teacher should incorporate questions or questions to aid the students in their understanding the text. So can you read, everyone, the first question?
Why is regular physical activity important for health?
What are some benefits of exercising regularly mentioned in the text?
How much moderate exercise is recommended per week?
How can staying active impact your daily energy level?
So again, why is it important for the teacher to have the questions?
Because
Can
it
you
will serve as a guide for us na makapollow kung ano na sila.
Okay, thank you. So that's correct. It is a guide for the students to follow those information if they really understood that particular text. Next is, in step 3, we should, can you read, everyone?
Introduce the material, discuss using points and new vocabulary.
Okay, I want Martiliana to share your thoughts or your understanding about
Discuss the material such as books and discuss classroom things. You are going to use the information questions after letting the students read. That's what is the main idea of the text?
Okay, that's correct. No. So as a teacher, we should always discuss the salient points or the important points of a given text in order for the students to really acquire the informations, the correct informations. And also, we should, if there is new vocabularies or mga difficult words, the teacher could discuss it also to their class so that they doesn't misinterpret those words na maligay ang ilang meaning. So that is the introduce the material, discuss the salient points and new vocabulary. So katong sa example kaina kani. So what are the salient points or the important points?
One, kaning about sa 150 minutes
Yeah.
of moderate exercise.
And also, Baka wala. It improves cardiovascular health, strengthens muscles and bones, boosts mental well-being, and and also incorporating at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise. So that is mga important information that the teacher should consider to discuss to their students. Okay, for example, new vocabulary is students are not familiar, for example, chronic disease, what are chronic disease? Yeah. Ikaw ano siya sa inyo? Okay, so one of the example of it is mga sa difficult words is chronic diseases or mga cardiovascular. If the students didn't understand those words, the teacher could discuss it and further explain it so that the students really understand those words. Next is fourth is raise the questions on the reading guide. So, di ba we have as a teacher we have formulated some questions and then in here, there's please listen class. In here, diri ang reading guide and then sa ubos is the question. So, as a teacher, you should put the questions here in order for the students to be guided in that given text or on the given text. And next is the teachers continually monitor and provide support to the students during the entire reading activity. So during the entire reading activity or in the time that the students would answer those questions related sa reading guide, so the teacher would only scaffold those students, would only guide those students, but not in the point that the teacher would give the answers of that text or the answers of in the given text. So the teachers only give their guidance or assist the students if there is questions. So that's the time that the teacher should clarify everything, and if none, so the teacher will only guide the students if they really follow the instructions. So that is the steps of introducing the steps of reading guide. So now what we're going to do is I have here a text, and what we're going to do is to write three questions that related in that text and then exchange tayo, mag-exchange tayo sa inyong partners and then ansiran, kasi buta yeah, dito sa inyo paper ay dala na lang kami Isay wala pa. Lolo. Tapos as a teacher mo maganda ka na as a teacher, sa mga questions ang inyo based na ang text. Formulation ng text and then mag-exchange tayo mo. Ang katong exchange ninyo, mag-act as a student. paper to your classmates, and then your classmates are going to answer those questions, and then i-check na po tayo. Okay, so those numbers. Okay, so is the so who among you here have correct questions and answers? Okay, so okay, so that is for reading guides. So in conclusion, that reading guides really help the students to enhance their comprehension skills within that certain activity or within that certain text, and then they are going to, or the teacher, through that reading guide, the teacher could assess if the students really understand the topic or really understand those texts, and if the students really kind of misinformation of that on that given text, so the teacher could give or could kind of assess or discuss it to their students so that they can have a kind of effective, or they can have a clear understanding of that particular text. So that is all for today's class, and I hope that you learned something.